Hi guys, and welcome back for another video from Nottingham Music Excellence. This is my Clarinet 101 series, I'm going to call it, and this is episode 2. And on this video I'm going to talk about chromatic scales, why we need to play them, and I'm going to give you some tips for success with this part of the instrument. Here we go. So I'm going to keep it on this video fairly basic, perhaps grades 3, 4, 5, because on the ABRSM syllabus chromatic scales come in at grade 3, just for 1 octave. And I'm always quite surprised on how poor pupils are at playing chromatic scales. I think it's probably a good reflection actually on how much practice you're actually doing and how much commitment you're making to your instrument, I think, chromatic scales. Because you'll find that the pupils that don't spend a lot of time on their instrument don't get around the instrument as well as others. So, you know, it is all about learning the order of the key work. I mean, I used to like playing chromatic scales when I was learning the instrument because, you know, it was kind of like the one scale that you could play. You didn't really need to know like what the notes were. You just kind of you're just remembering the finger pattern on the instrument. So if I played G to G, so for a start, I would use that key there, the 4th finger on that 4th kind of trill key there. Now, I think when I learned to play the F sharp, I always learnt it with the F and the 2 side keys there. I'm not really sure why actually, but I think it's good practice to know that those 2 side keys do an F sharp with the F, but actually also good practice to learn to swap those from the F to the F sharp nice and smoothly. And then with the side keys. So I think the just learning this order of the keys is really useful, and it gives you a set pattern to learn that you can put into the music, because they come up all the time in music that we play. There's some chromatic passages, you know, really do come up regularly. So I think it's really worth spending some time on them. And moving on to perhaps, shall we say, grade 4 or 5, now we have to sort of do a 2 octave chromatic scale and got to take it over the break. So let's talk about, actually let's start from G. Let's talk about how I did that. So for a start, I think one of the key things going over the break on a chromatic scale for you beginners is just make sure, try and minimize the key work. So don't snatch that B, whatever you do. And I think ideally get all the fingers down on the B so that you can keep that right hand C key down for 3 notes. I try and do this with my pupils. It works really well, because you tend to find with the younger players, they learn kind of like a left hand F, you know, down at the bottom. You know, because it's slightly easier to reach, maybe, I don't know. But I think if you can do it this way and get both little fingers on the B, then you can go B, C, C sharp with the left, and then lift both little fingers up together. And it really does help to minimize the key work, you know, rather than going left, right, left, right, left, right, round the keys. So I'll just show you that again over the break. And then again on the way down, make sure you do the exact same key work on the way down as well. So I'm going to go from G and then use that little trill key, the 4th key there, for the F sharp, F, E, D sharp, D. And then I'm just going to, instead of going C sharp like just one finger, I'm going to go C sharp and C together. So I've already got the next note down, and then I'm going to go to the B. So again, I can keep that little finger down for 3 notes going up and down. So I'll just demonstrate that. So and when you get it up to speed and you really learn that well, it really does set a good foundation. So obviously you're trying to get it as seamlessly as you can over the break, and you're only going to do that if kind of goes back to lesson 1 actually, 101, lesson number 1, kind of talking about the posture as well and the position of the clarinet. So as you're going over the break here, you've got keeping a really steady airflow through the instrument is absolutely critical as well. So really good airflow. And then that will just help you get over in a smoother way. And of course, don't forget to practice these legato and tongued as well. So personally, I prefer legato tongued. It just sounds more musical. So you really do need to be able to play these chromatic scales well. So I think that's all I'm going to say on this video. So I've covered kind of grade 3, 4 and 5. I'm going to cover grade 6, 7 and 8 with another video. But I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you on the next video. Bye!